Alright, continuing part 2, I guess.
So, just as it suits him or her. Right? That's Young. Carl Young. Pretty
Oh, yeah,
guy.
who cares? Yeah, pretty brilliant guy. So anybody can just read out of a book and they say, pretty brilliant guy, pretty brilliant guy. Because that's all you got, right? All you got is books of dead authors with fake reputations. Wonderful.
The things that he talked about. And the reason I did this video is because, you know, that political boss, party boss, you know, was George Bush for 8 years, you know, and if you disagree with anything he said, you weren't a patriot, and you're un-American, and you were with the terrorists, you're with the terrorists, or you know, and that's the same bullshit that, you know, I'm hearing in this argument that, you know, if you agree with the rich, then you're fucking evil too, you know. And
well, that's not the fucking argument, though, is it? There's a whole fucking detailed argument about how the fucking goddamn economy works, how the fucking dollar, how a dollar is created and how it moves through the economy. And then there's a simple critique, okay, of how we've created a system where that's really stupid. Okay, a system based, number one, on usury and exploitation, but worse, a system that gives these things out based on erroneous, arbitrary, nonsensical standards like, oh, who were you born to? I mean, come on, you fucktard, deal with the real argument.
When some people actually, you know, did, you know, make their money on their own and actually give back quite a bit to the community.
Yeah, it's completely irrelevant to the argument, isn't it? I mean, there's stages to this argument. The first stage is, what about inheritance? Okay, how much of the owned capital, the property ownership, okay, is legacy ownership? How much of it is based on a $10 million handout? Really hard to fail with a $10 million head start. How much of that is corrosive to the free market system? How much is that corrosive to human productivity? Because every bit of that money has to come out of a worker's ass. Okay? The reason why it's not in the worker's hand is because it's in the capitalist man's hands. Okay? But the productivity would have existed either fucking way. All right? All we're talking about is who should have control over the productivity, over the fruits of the productivity. I mean, you know, really, you are such a little silly imbecile. I mean, there's a whole big subject here, all right? It's not your little pissy, oh, I hate the rich bullshit. That's not the fucking subject. I haven't made 17 hours of videos saying, I hate the rich, I hate the rich, I hate the rich. That's not the fucking videos, idiot.
And guys like Warren Buffett and such. Yeah, and I mean, he's just one example of many that hand out billions and billions of dollars a year. And
right, and he extracts billions and billions of dollars by putting them on a shelf, okay, and saying, okay, grow money, give me back more, okay, and you're saying it doesn't cost us anything? That's almost like you're probably one of the imbeciles who doesn't think Google costs us anything. Okay, that doesn't mean anything. That doesn't mean anything that companies are paying $1 a click to get a viewer to their website. You think that's functional search engineering. You think that's a great bargain. We pay $1 a click, okay, to let people move around on the internet. And you think that's brilliant? You think that's efficient? You think that does us some good? When we could have a free public library with a rational card catalog on the internet, we could have that principle, but instead you'd rather pay for every click, every maneuver, every movement? You stupid bastard.
You know, for everybody that bitches about what Walmart does, you know, here in labor, even though studies after study have shown.
Oh yeah, what studies? Why don't you cite them? What? The Heritage Foundation? Come on, what studies?
Around middle of when it comes to retail and how they compensate their employees. They're not on the low end or the high end.
Oh yeah, right. Oh yeah, so they're comparable to what, an Arkansas grocery store or something? You know, so some town of 300 people, and what they're paying, you know, old man Jenkins to sit behind the counter. Yeah, get real.
If you go to Southeast Asia and where they manufacture, they're quite on the high end there. They pay better than
Yeah, right. They pay 60 cents instead of 30 cents. So yeah, they're really incredibly, yeah, they give them a fortune, right? But it's bullshit anyway, but that's just a preposterous lie. What they do is buy the cheapest stuff possible, but they buy it from secondhand, the guys who put the big package together, all right? So they try to get as distant as they can from the goddamn little 10-year-old kid who's actually doing the work.
So, and it certainly has, that manufacturing base has done quite a bit for the average Southeast Asian.
Oh yeah, well slavery did a lot for the American productivity. It was a great, god damn it, it's great for productivity. You want to progress as a civilization really fast? Yeah, just enslave your population. It works great. You dumb shit.
And to say that it hasn't is being blind.
No, to say it's not abusive, and to say it's excessive, and to say it's unnecessary, and to say it's too high a price to pay, okay, that's really easy to do.
Poverty, since we've had global trade, has almost halved.
Oh, what you mean? And so why don't you go with life expectancy next, okay? Why don't you go with things that we've all shared the benefits of progress? Progress make it more efficient for human beings to exist. That's a fact. Okay, so the level of poverty that exists in the world is definitely, look, we're not all dying of cholera and smallpox and polio and all of that shit. But it has nothing to do with fucking capitalism. It has nothing to do with a bunch of usury bastards sitting on top of the system pulling fucking strings. Okay, not a goddamn thing. It has to do with millions of people doing hard fucking work every fucking day. All right? And millions of people getting fucking abused by a bunch of string-pulling jackasses who never did a goddamn thing in their life to have control over those strings.
There you have it.
God, you're a boring son of a bitch. Come on, will you get to it? God, you make dumb, boring videos.
Nations that were never thought to believe we could develop are now developing nations.
Ah, amazing. Amazing how that works. That innovation that human beings create over time somehow makes things more progressive. Ah.
Because of rich people.
No, because of human work. Because of productivity, because of the Curies and their willingness to invest 3 years of their life doing the hard fucking work.
There. So, I'm not conservative. I don't...
No, you're worse than that. You're a fucking idiot. Goddamn conservative. Yeah, how could you possibly be conservative? You don't believe in anything. You jerk.
You know, I don't have a problem with taxing people with money more than we tax people that don't have money.
Well, why don't you just give us some fucking numbers and some fucking details? How would you tax them? Based on their income, based on their net wealth? What limits would you put on that taxation? Come on, give us some fucking goddamn coherent numbers. I have no problem with it. That doesn't mean anything, jackass. Especially in a system where we've just gone through decades where we gave people tax cuts and borrowed the fucking money.
I don't have a problem with that. I do have a problem with these radical, fanatic leftists that seem to think that any...
I wish you'd put names to this shit, all right? And then justify it based on something they said. Quote the fuckers, all right? And quote them beyond some kind of I hate the rich statement in the middle of a fucking video. You can do a little better than that because I qualified the goddamn statement. I qualified what I meant by the goddamn rich. So you could at least include my motherfucking definition, you dumb, lazy bastard.
One who has anything is evil, especially ones that sit on the internet in their air conditioning homes and their running water and their cars that they fill up, collecting their government.
Ah, I see. You can't have a philosophy if you would all do anything to satiate your human needs, right? then you can't have a philosophy anymore because you're compromised. Because, you know, I already did a video on this. I did a whole fucking video on this very fucking subject, that we are innately selfish beasts. We're innately going to take too much. Okay, that's just a fact of our existence. That's a fact of our goddamn nature. But we certainly can, as philosophers, understand that there should be limits. The rules of the game should confine us and prevent us from taking advantage. Maybe it's our instinct to take advantage. Maybe it's our instinct to take too much. But the rules of the game can say, no, you can't. That's a cheat. All right, you got to play by the fucking rules.
And private industry privileges.
I should go back.
And their running water and their cars that they fill up, collecting their government. And private industry privileges.
Yeah, privileges they pay into, like Social Security, right? It's an insurance program, jackass. So if they buy insurance against something like disability, from something happening dramatic to their life that just destroys the quality of their life, okay? They have no right to buy insurance? Is that your fucking argument? I mean, fuck you.
Entitlement. I just don't understand entitlement. I've always been someone who believes in natural selection.
Oh, right. So I hope you don't own any insurance whatsoever then, right? You own no insurance whatsoever. You're just such an idiot.
And I believe the things that Jefferson and Washington and Madison had to say about private property. And, you know,
yeah, well, look, let's not even talk about forefathers 250 years ago who owned slaves. I mean, that really doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense, does it? I mean, yes, they were men who understood some philosophy and they had some good principles, but let's be honest, okay? Let's be honest for a second. You know, they were part of the privileged class. They were the elites, all right? And they played an elitist game.
Will always be those that have and some that have not. And
there always will be. Okay, well, why don't you write that essay and send it to Finland? Okay, why don't you do that? Why don't you write that essay right there? You know, you can title it that subject. There will always be, and you can inform them that they're breaking the laws of nature.
Whether they like it or not, America isn't the most perfect system in the world, but upward mobility certainly.
Oh, look, the illusion of upward mobility is only that, an illusion, because we have exported the fucking things that we're enslaving, you dumb ass. So if we brought all the fucking abused populations here, if we brought the sweatshops back to our fucking shore, then it would no longer be an illusion.
It's possible here, as opposed to other places.
Yeah, statistically, that's just a plain fat canard, okay? Statistically, it's a tiny percentage.
And, you know.
Oh, yeah, you know. See, you're just so slow. You're such a boring, slow fucktard. You know, really. Go find the upward mobility statistics and the downward mobility statistics. I mean, it's a simple way to look at how do people die, okay? And when people examine how people die, they say, okay, here's a rich man. How did his son die? A rich or a poor man? Well, guess what? The odds are he died a rich man. And go down those fucking lists. And you can do that with both sides, and you'll see the lineage, and you'll see that the real results are that it's a tiny fraction who escape that goddamn destiny. A tiny fraction.
After you spend time abroad, you realize how whiny fucking Americans are.
Yeah, well, you don't have to go abroad. I can watch videos of jackasses like you. So what are you gonna...
And they're a bunch of whiny fucking spoiled rotten piss money. I don't see any of them giving up their fucking $100 fucking month cable.
Yeah, well, since I don't have it, I guess I gave it up, didn't I, jackass? All right, so you don't see anything, though. But you know why you don't see anything? Because you don't open new books. You're looking in these old books. Guess what? The facts aren't going to be in the old books. You got to open the new books and figure out what the reality is. And then maybe one of those books will actually tell you, the book of Not Bantam's Completely Fucktard Philosophy. I have a copy right here. And know what it says? It says, guess what, asshole? How people are living doesn't have anything to do with philosophy, you dumb shit prick. God, you are so stupid.
And internet money that they spend to give to the poor or their...
Yeah, right. The same pizza man argument, right? Oh, if you care about the poor, you should cut your arms off, right? Because that's the only way to do it right. No, you shouldn't just rationally come up with a system that equitably distributes this capital thing. No, that would be really stupid. Don't come up with rational rules to the game. No, leave the game broken. Okay, and then wag your fucking little nasty curly bent finger at people. You are just such a weasel.
Car that they run. I don't see any of these people fucking sacrificing their time. So, because if they were sacrificing their time, they wouldn't be on the fucking internet all the time.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. You wouldn't be on the internet talking about social issues if you cared about social issues. Right. Yeah, right, okay, yeah. Oh, wait a minute. No, that doesn't make any fucking sense at all. Guess what? We can't cure the world by ourselves. I can't cure cancer on my porch. I can't build an interstate highway on my fucking porch. I can't build the Hoover Dam on my fucking porch. You know how those things get done? They get done because people communicate with each other and express ideas, and they convince each other that something would be a goddamn good thing to do. And they do it collectively as a fucking society, you dumb, ignorant piece of crap.
You pizza boy.
Yeah, sign off. You are one boring, dumb bastard.